Okay, hi everybody. I would like to introduce my latest book. Uh, this is an advanced copy, right? So it's not available yet. They sent me an advanced copy so I can see the result, etc. So this book. So I would like to introduce it to you, right? To show you what's inside, what's not inside, and maybe answer your question. Maybe if you have some question later on. So this third book is about exercises, right? I received a lot of questions from my followers, right? YouTube, Instagram, etc., and the readers of the book, of course, the previous books, right? About specific topics, right? How to measure a certain way, how to render with a certain technique, etc. So I have prepared this book where I this answer a lot of this question, but also I approach drawing the body systematically in the way I have, with a method I have been developing for a few years now, and the method that I use in the classroom. So one problem that I hear about from the student is how to go from the anatomical charts, which are very clear, right? Because we have a body that is drawn in a very controlled way, how to go from those charts to copying the complexity of the human figure in studio. So this book is organized that way, just to follow the readers to go from the stereometric rendering on the figure to the copying the organic complexity of the form. So I have a variety of chapters. For example, there's also drawing method explained, right? With the step-by-step demonstration. This is just 3 steps of 4, I think. And for example, in here I have the a hybrid, which it's the envelope method, right? Where you block in the figure using the envelope, then you create a line drawing using the center line of gravity in this case, and then gradually layer the values first with just two, right? Two value, light and dark, and then gradually increase the tonal range by simply adding more layers of graphite, or in this case color pencil, over the initial layer that blocks in the first value. So the context, we have stereometry, we have identifying the skeletal and muscular structures. We have working from artwork, right? Working from copying from sculptures and paintings. Then measuring drawing techniques. And finally, a small appendix on how to use the knowledge of the human body to create images, clothes images that still have an aesthetic using the clothing for aesthetic means. So Michael Grimaldi wrote the foreword of this edition, of this third book. So so now start with stereometry, right? We all know about stereometry, what stereometry looks like, and it's basically the science that measures the volumes, right? And during the Renaissance, the science of the measurement of the volume that probably was used for merchant, right? Is then transferred to the forms of the human body that now reduced to three measures. Each form, each volume is reduced to 3 measures, width, height, and depth, right? These boxes contain the human body. It's a very efficient way of visualizing the proportional relationships of the parts of the body, meaning how big is the head in relation to the torso, in relation to the hips, in relation to everything else. And proportional relationship give us access to a variety of things, and which we're going to discuss, right? So these are some examples to open the topic. And this is the first of the many exercises, right, that you will follow throughout the book. They will guide you through various aspects of how to depict the human figure, and so that you learn as you draw, right? You learn as you draw. I limited the text because I wanted this to be kind of a Montessori thing, right? So you learn as you do things, right? So this is the chart that I provide, right? So this is the space that I put next to the next page, where I created a grid, right? The same grid that we have here, right? And you can draw here, right? You can draw here to perform the exercise, but what I advise you to do is you take a piece of tracing paper, right? And then you put it over this this page here, and you're going to draw now this. You repeat it here, right? I have videos included in the books. There's a link to some videos included in the book where I show how to do this, right? But overall, just quickly, what you can do, you can take a pencil, right, and then measure this volume here and draw them here, right? Draw them here. Whether you can do both the angular stereometry or a more organic stereometry, so you get acquainted with both systems, right? They are kind of connected, right? You draw them here. You practice now following the example you have here. You can do this as many times as you want, because on this piece of paper, because you can take off the tracing paper, you do an arrow. You can use this as initial scaffolding, right? So just to show you how these two forms are interconnected, right? Once you had drawn the angular stereometry of the figure like this, I can draw inside it the more organic forms of the body that get closer to, in this case, the skeleton, right? But it's kind of a hybrid visualization. And then see that you can block in all of these forms inside the boxes, and increase the amount of the detail, right, information that you learn as you create a more and more complex rendering of the human figure. So we're going to have exercises for the male proportion, both in angular and rounded stereometric, female front, side view, male and female, posterior view, male and female, etc., etc. Then, once we had drawn these, once you have mastered, right, understood the proportional relationship, and in general, the characteristic of the stereometric figure, we're going to give him life, right? We're going to give him life, and we're going to start drawing figures a little bit more in movement. Initially, a relatively simple poses, right? But then gradually we get into more and more complex poses, see that? And we don't have the grid anymore, right? So you could eventually layer all your exercises here, keep them in here, and see your progress, right? So then eventually there is going to be, see how these figures get gradually more and more complex, right? So there is also figures in dynamic poses, right? In movement, same thing, right? See how I kind of describe different type of poses right here, and overlapping, right, of the volumes, action lines, and etc. Right. So this image here shows the progression, in a sense, right, from the stereometry, in this case, rounded stereometry, to more organic forms, right? And this could be like a study that you do before you approach the figure drawing. Or it could be that that is your initial drawing, and on top of this, you keep this line light, you start developing the organic form like that, right? This shows the technique that I've been using here, which is the red, black, and white technique, the trois crayon technique. Right? So, and of course, then we get more and more complex in here. So these preliminary studies of the form, etc. And you see now here how how to measure, especially foreshortening poses, right? And the same progression that you showed you before is exemplified here. You will start with this 3 volume of a axial skeleton, and then blocking from here, attach eventually arms and legs, and then from here you go to the finished drawing, right? So, example, these are quick sketches that I did for you to copy, to use as inspiration, and then eventually you will develop your own, right, from imagination or from reference images, right? You can see here also how this is the progression, right? Simplified in one image from stereometric rendering to realistic volume. Or this one here shows a slightly more advanced step. So I started from the rounded stereometry, and I started putting over it more specific volumes, the deltoid, right, the pectoralis, the breast, the external oblique, etc. And not just that, but I also show you how to turn the figure, right, starting from around the stereometric puppet, right. So from here, we need to understand how to identify the muscle. This is the structural aspect of the figure. This is the structure, right? But now we need to get, as we move toward the organic, we need to become more specific, right? And we need to understand where all the bony and skeletal landmarks are, and the muscular volume, right? So for this, I have a chapter dedicated to exactly that, and with exercises. So we start now with a figure that is half skeleton structure, right? It's a structural skeleton. We don't need to get too much into the organic aspect of the skeleton when we do this, because we just need to know where landmarks are at certain specific points are to position the muscle. For example, I don't need to see all the ribs. I need to know where the 5th or 6th ribs are. That's yes, but I don't need to see where all the ribs are, right? So let's say where is the end of the rib cage? It's here, right? At the change of angle here. So I don't need to block in all the ribs. That would be superfluous, too much. Where is the 5th rib, for example? The 5th rib is, so the last rib that connects directly with the sternum is the 7th. So the 5th rib is going to be a little bit higher. Why do I want to know where the 5th rib is? Because the nipple is there, and that's where the rectus abdominis begins, right? And also the external oblique begins about at the 5th rib, is about here. So one head down, see that? For example, right? So I have the exercises for, I broke it down in parts of the body. So the axial skeleton, the upper part here, male and female. Then why male and female? Because there are differences in the profile of the figure, and I want to devote time to both figures to compare the morphological, the typical morphological characteristic and structural characteristics of both genders. So here, then I have posterior view, male, posterior view, female. You see how the hips are wider because the pelvis is wider, so it creates a different profile. We want to know this thing, right? So then we have legs front, male and female. We have posterior, male and female. And we also have side view. And that will give us a complete understanding of structure from the point of view of basic volume through the stereometric rendering of the figure, right? And this is for proportional relationship. It's really important to understand how all these parts relate to each other, because if not, we're going to end up with the head is too big or the feet are too small. Makes sense? So there are some constant in the human body. For example, in terms of proportion. For example, the hand is always smaller than the head, always. The feet are always a little bit bigger than the head on the side view, of course, right? This part of the arm is big, always bigger than this part in here, and so on. So these are constant. If we don't know those, we're gonna end up relying on imitation, and not we don't always capture these defining aspect of the proportional aspect of the human figure. So now to the proportional relationship, we add the structural aspect coming from the skeleton, and then on top of it, we're going to put the superficial muscle to have access to the external form. Also from here, going to the external form is now much more easy, right? So eventually a few images to kind of bring together the whole thing here. And the exercises now here are dedicated to finding, right, reading the human form and finding, reading where all the landmarks are. So this is really an important step that I've been adding. I've been working on this project, right, for quite a few years now, experimenting in the classroom. So the problem is, how do we move to the charts of the anatomy to copying the figure and seeing all that we see in the charts? That is always difficult for students, right? So with this book, I'll address exactly that problem. So, for example, I'm looking now at this figure. This is a copy of a sculpture of what used to be Germanicus. Now it's somebody else, right? It's a Roman copy of the Greek original. And so look at this, right? That is the top of the scapula, and then I see it there, right? Or I look at, for example, that dimple there, right, is the posterior superior iliac spine. From here, then you have access to the iliac crest, right, here and here, like that. Above that, I will have the external oblique. And then below that, the glutei. So now, if I can understand all these landmarks and read them here, I have access to the structure of the body, right? So from here, then I can position the muscles onto the structure of the body correctly. This will give me this beautiful harmony between the volume of the body that would be more difficult to obtain if I only rely on observation and imitation, right? So this is as you can see now, is a conceptualization of the human body. So then I do this with a back view, front view, right? You can see why sculpture and why painting, because artists, when they were preparing these works, they were already conceptualizing the figure, right? So they were trying to use the landmarks, right, as we have been using I've been using in the previous works, to be able to build up correctly an image, right, a sculpture, etc. Therefore, this form being idealized like that show very clearly where costal arch is, the iliac crest, the iliac spine, inguinal ligament, external oblique, etc. You can really see all these landmarks very, very clearly, right? So then we move on to building up the whole thing. See that here? And then gradually we get a more and more complex visualization of the human form of the body, right? Different poses, etc., starting from imagination or from memory, right? From artwork, etc. Then there is starting copying artwork from masters, where we can do both the reading interpretation of form as volume, but also technique, use the technique, understand the technique that the artists were using, right? So try crayon, this is charcoal and chalk, right? And then there is also a segment dedicated to the compositional aspect of a painting or a drawing. Right? In this case, it's a drawing by Raphael, and it's fighting man, right? So in these two drawings, I analyze how I analyze the image from a variety of points of view. So we have, for example, here in this first visualization, I only worry about the proportional relationship, right, using stereometry, and the dynamism, the dynamics of created to really animate this image. So we see how not having the distraction of the anatomy and the facial expression, etc., we can analyze this composition, this drawing, much more clearly, right? So now we see how there's this dynamic of movement between these two, the gaze, right? This is a psychological connection. Then there is a physical connection where we have this soldier about to kill this soldier here, and he lifts, right? You see this arching of the body, show that he lifted the arm with probably a weapon in here, and is about to strike. So past, present, future, right? So we see this time going on here. Right? The past is here because he lifted the arm, and then present is staring, aiming for him, and then the future is going to hit him and kill him. So these are diagonally oriented like this, really cutting the composition diagonally, enhancing the sense of dynamism of the figure. And these two figures here are accessory to this, right? Meaning they help the dynamism of the composition by creating a sense of movement opposite to each other, but also to the direction of the action of these figures here. So everything, all the energy in this couple here is directed toward this, right? And these go the other way. Also, they create a funnel like this, right? This funnel here kind of almost enhances the energy that is going to be discharged onto this poor soldier, right? Then I look at this composition from a different point of view, which is the structure, you see the skeleton, and the volume, the mass, the superficial volume. So anatomy and also technique, because I try to use, not systematically, but here and there, the technique that Raphael used with these framing or structural lines, right? So in addition to that, we go from the superficial muscle to the external forms, right? So bringing together all that we have done so far. So same thing for Velasquez, where I studied the composition here, and then we get into the analytical approach of kind of analyzing skeletal, muscular, and superficial muscle, and an external volume of the figures involved in this scene here. So you can copy this, right, doing the same thing, and try also the technique, right, the different types of technique, right. So plenty of these exercises, right, show you how to do it. There is also and now eventually we move to the real figure, right? To the real figure, because this is the difficult part, right? The copying a model, a photograph of a model is really hard because the landmarks that we were seeing earlier on are much more difficult to identify in the pose. So, but because by now you have gone through all of these structural anatomical aspect of the figure, you can see those much more clearly. You see how this little change of angle between here and here, that gives me the iliac spine, right? That's the inguinal ligament, that's the costal arch, that's the sternum, that's the linea alba. So you're going to recognize immediately all of these anatomical and structural aspects of the figure, and your drawing will become more accurate. So we have anterior, posterior, male and female, various analysis of different planes of the layers of the figure, details of the rib cage, kind of more dynamic poses, right? And then we have here measuring technique, because show you how to measure technique and drawing techniques, right? How to, for example, layer values gradually here on starting from an initial scaffolding. This is not the Florentine structural system that I developed. I use mostly in the book. It's more the French stone system, where we have the envelope here, and gradually we sculpt the profile of the figure more and more tightly, and then eventually we end up with a line drawing, and then layering the values, ending up with, this is not finished, right? This is finished, so layering the values, let's say, gradually in a systematic way. And finally, I have three essential basic exercises for drawing the figure that are working with graphite or charcoal on white paper and developing a whole tonal range from white to black. This exercise is fundamental, especially when you do with graphite, because the paper will not give you anything. It's white. So you had to create all the values one by one, and layer them properly. This is a very good exercise, and absolutely important to learn how to render a tonal range from white. Once you have white paper, once you have understood this and practiced this, you can move on to the next exercise, which is working with on tone paper, right? Working on tone paper, what you do is you find the values that are lighter than the paper and darker than the paper. And the one lighter than the paper, you use white. The darker than the paper, you use black, charcoal, and the one the same as the white, as the range, the value of the paper, you leave them as they are. So you see how here in this area here, I left the paper there. I left the value of the paper. These are slightly lighter. So then the last technique is starting from is a reduction technique, starting from dark and moving on to light. So the opposite of the beginning. Why am I? And then this is the eventually the technique, the transition from drawing to painting, because this is the trois crayons technique, and it addresses also tonal, the value, chroma, and temperature of the colors, right? But you will read more here about the detail. So why these techniques, four techniques? Because these, to me, are the foundation of drawing. They teach you to develop tonal range, but they teach you also to look at the tonal range, the chromatic aspect of the figure from different points of view. So you go from white to black, from the middle to both, and then from black to white, and then chroma, value, temperature. Once you understand how to achieve a good tonal range using four different methods, your understanding of the light on form, for example, is going to be quite thorough, because you don't have just one method of looking at it. You have a multifaceted approach, and this will increase the complexity. You're going to increase your knowledge, and your drawing will be more complex, more interesting, right? Have more flavor. And eventually, this is the last few pages, I have a small chapter on how to use the clothes or fabric aesthetically over the body. For example, in the case here, we have the forms of the body that are known. The artist that knew the body very well, but he masterfully decided to disguise them, right? So this is with this cloth, this loose cloth, right? This is possible only if you have a good understanding of the form of the body, right? So in this case here, this is Waterhouse, right? We see how he used the cloth, right? This is the copy that I did, and then this is the steps, and this is how I analyze the the use of the cloth on the body. You see this whirl, right, created by the folds and all the various parts of the body that this whirl directs toward the eye of the young woman, right, Boreas, and so on and so on. So you can leave me any question you might have. And this book will be released in December of this year. So I will post more info about the book. And thank you for following.